Live from the Fred McLeod Sports Desk at the Tom O'Neill Studios in Jackson, this is the L2C Media Network, and this is Sports Final. And I'm Harry von Stuttgart. Tonight, Urban breaks a record and makes history at the same time. And oy vey, we have some sports leftovers for you, including, of course, the latest in hockey, basketball, and all sorts of sports. Plus, COVID again. Sports in trouble. Now, and we're all sponsored by and presented by the L2C Media Network. Now, ladies and gentlemen, with the details in the sports world headlines, here's Steve. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Good evening. Welcome, one and all, to the Corsican Ball. This is the place to be. This is Sports Final. I am your host, Steve, the Baxley. Yeah, right. Feeling a little bit okay. Glad you're here. Let's get started. It's been a wild and crazy sports day and night, and it began just as we went off the air at 1 o'clock in the morning. We didn't know about this till about 1:01 a.m. And it's shocking. We'll tell you all about Urban Meyer and everything that has happened since 1 a.m. yesterday early morning in just a few moments. But right now, we got the scoreboard due. And for that, we are grateful because the scoreboard is presented by the fine folks at Caesar Sportsbook. Remember, as I straighten up in a very wonky chair, we are all Caesars. Even me. If I Caesar, I say hi. Anyway, let's get going with the basketball and everything for the first time tonight, of many nights, but mainly tonight, is the final. So let's get to it, shall we? How's our bell working? Ooh. How's our bell working? Thank you. You'll find out that as well. It's the longest running gag since me. But here we go. Speaking of running gags, the Pistons continue to find ways to lose a basketball game. And is anyone starting to feel a little impatient with their head coach? Can I get that a little upward there? Thank you. A little upward. Not too much because, okay, there we are. And we'll put you over there. Okay. Speaking of running gags, the Pistons continue to lose, this time to the Indiana Pacers, 122-113. Brooklyn Nets beat the Philadelphia 76ers, 114-105. New York Knicks got rid of the Houston Rockets, 116-103. Let's move that up just a bit. Phoenix Suns, here comes the sun. Do-do-do-do. Here comes the sun. And they beat the Washington Wizards 118-98. Bulls and Raptors postponed due to COVID, and that is beginning to be a broken record. And guess what? It's back. That's right. COVID has reared its ugly head and other body parts into the realm of the sports world. We will explain in due detail because I have a feeling things are about to be horribly changed again in this world. But before we do all that, let's keep going with the basketball scores. We go now to women's college. That's right. Women's college basketball. Yeah, their season is pretty good, don't you think? Yes, I do. And last night, once again, we told you that of the new COVID protocols that are going to take place during the NFL playoffs. So, okay, there we go. Let's go do it. I love this. We just press a button, bam, it works. Okay, let's get to the scoreboard. The NCAA women's basketball scoreboard. Hi, get back down there. And there are only 2 games to report tonight. I thought 3. Nope, 2 games. 2 games to give you tonight. Number 17 ranked Georgia defeated number 2 ranked NC State 82-80. And number 6 Louisville beat Eastern Kentucky 82-38. Ain't that an insanity? That's right. Let's check now NCAA basketball for the men. And then we'll check the G League. So let's get to what we call the scores and give you all the scores we can give you. And there's only one game to talk about in the NC2A men's basketball. Number 2 ranked Duke defeated Appalachian State 92-67. And as we said again, COVID has reared its ugly little nose in the sports world again. We will talk more about that as the evening continues. And before we even make a move, we got to get to the G League. That's the last portion of our basketball coverage. Then we'll take a brief promotional pause to tell you what's coming up on Nick Rakita's show, and then it's scores and fun and all this excitement. So let's. Ooh, hey there. We're 2 off. No, now we're 2 off. Yeah, Thursday. Get to Thursday. Thank you, boys. Okay, let's give you the scores from G League. College Park Skyhawks beat Raptors 905, 120-104. Austin Spurs took out the Lakeland Magic 112-101. Long Island Nets beat barely Maine Celtics by a score of 97-95. The Wisconsin Hoyt defeated the Iowa Wolves 131-117. 8:03 left to play in the fourth quarter. It is South Bay Lakers 99, the Agua Caliente Clippers 97. And that game is on the Spectrum Sportsnet channel and ESPN Plus. So there you go. Simply astounding, don't you think? And that is our basketball segment. It is time now to pick up the kazoo, the musical instrument of love, and a do this. A little hockey night in Canada for you. As we start up, we go from the hardwood to the hard synthetic ice of NHL hockey. And it was full of just hockey, period. NHL, minor league, and college. College, yes. And so here we go. And of course, if it's final score, you know they got to have the Molson Cup 3 stars. And we will give those to you as well. But right now, let's check on one game that is continuing. It is the lone game continuing of the night. 9 minutes, 52 seconds before the second intermission. The Vancouver Canucks over the San Jose Sharks, 2-1. Final scores. And, Boy, I wish they had the winning streak. But the Carolina Hurricanes have beaten the Detroit Red Wings 5-3. Drury for Carolina, 1 goal. Niederreiter, and if you need a writer, let us know. Niederreiter got 2 goals for Carolina, and Fast got 2 goals for Carolina. Los Angeles Kings took on the Florida Panthers and beat them 4-1. Quick for LA was 41 saves. Kopitar for LA, 1 goal. And Kierstead for Florida, 1 goal. Vegas Golden Knights defeated the New Jersey Bad Devils 5-3. Coughlin for Vegas, 1 goal, 1 assist. Tatar for New Jersey, 1 goal, 1 assist. And Roy for French Canadians, 1 goal. The two-time defending Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning served notice on the Ottawa Senators, 2-1. Hedman for Tampa Bay, 1 goal, 1 assist. Stamkos for Tampa Bay, 1 assist. And Chabot for Ottawa, 1 goal. We continue on. In a shootout, it was the Canadiens over the Flyers. The Montreal Canadiens beat the Philadelphia Flyers 3-2. Cheryl for Montreal, 1 assist. Dolphin for Montreal, 1 goal. And Drouin was so good they didn't even put his stats up. But he did get the 3 stars. New York Islanders beat the Boston Bruins 3-1. Varlamov for the Islanders, 40 saves. Clutterbuck, yes, I said Clutterbuck for the Islanders, 2 goals. Bouvier for the Islanders, 1 goal. In a shootout, Les Sabres du Buffalo defeated the Minnesota Wild 3-2. Thompson was so good for Buffalo, they didn't put his stats on either. Cousins for Buffalo, 1 goal. And Goligoski, 1 assist for Minnesota. There you go. Nashville Predators over the Colorado Avalanche 5-2. Forsberg for Nashville, 2 goals, 1 assist. Sissons for Nashville, 3 assists. And Jeannot for Nashville, 1 goal, 1 assist. And finally, and we'll tell you why finally in just a few moments, Edmonton Oilers beat the Columbus Blue Jackets 5-2. Paul Jujarvi for Edmonton, 2 goals, 1 assist. Skinner for Edmonton, 36 saves. And Berlini for Edmonton, 1 goal, 1 assist. 1 game postponed because of COVID, the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Calgary Flames. Now, the Canadiens and Flyer game was very different tonight. And here's why. As we have told you, and obviously many sports folks have told you, COVID has reared its ugly head, tail, balls, and every other orifice back into the world of sports. And for one prime example, the Montreal Canadiens Philadelphia Flyers game was played, but there were no fans. That's right. The Montreal Canadiens played their home game against the Flyers in a closed setting without fans. In a statement posted less than 2 hours before the puck drop, the Canadiens said that Quebec public health officials requested they do so to slow the spread of the Omicron of COVID-19. The spread of the Omicron of COVID-19. Montreal accepted the officials' request, quote, to help ensure the safety and security of our fans and fellow citizens throughout our community, end quote. The team has also obtained assurances of it being able to return to partial capacity in January. The Canadiens announced they will update the status of Saturday's game against the Boston Bruins tomorrow, which is Friday. More details will follow in the days to come, and as the portrait of this ever-evolving pandemic becomes clearer, the Canadian statement reads in full. In the interim, we will continue to encourage everyone to get vaccinated, get booster shots when possible, and be responsible with their social and family gatherings throughout the holidays. We hope that with rigor and a collective effort, all of us will be able to come together in a near future in 2022. Yeah. COVID-19 pandemic has had little impact on Canadian season before Thursday, but the same can't be said for some other NHL teams. The Islanders, Flames, Hurricanes have all postponed games after numerous players contracted the new type of virus, Omicron virus. Montreal's decision to ban fans comes a day after Ontario enacted a rule to limit seating capacity to 50% for the Toronto Maple Leafs, Ottawa Senators, and Toronto Raptors. The Ontario rule was first of its kind among NBA and NHL teams this season. It's now going to be 2 consecutive seasons in which Canadian fans will struggle to see their teams compete. Last year, Canadian NHL teams banned fans throughout the regular season and allowed only limited crowds in the playoffs. The Toronto Raptors played their 2020-2021 season in Tampa, Florida to avoid border restrictions. The Canadians, who sit at the bottom of the NHL's athletic division with its dismal 6-21-3 record, are set to play the Flyers, which they did. Fans with tickets will be refunded, while season ticket holders will earn credits. Gee, they care more about those going to the game than they do the season ticket holders. They should earn more than credits. They should earn some pesos, some money. Trudeau. Anyway, that is that for NHL hockey. Let us take you on a wild, bizarro trip. Yep, we got to go and do NCAA hockey, and we'll see if there were any games scheduled for today. And yes, there were only one game on the men's scoreboard for the NCAA. In overtime, 17th ranked Ohio State beat Bowling Green 4-3. Let's check out, see if the ladies had any games tonight. And they did not. Okay, so we're out of range of that. Let's take you now to the minors and to the American Hockey League. And here we go. Let's come on. Let's get to there. Oh, goody. Okay, time now to give you some scores from the American Hockey League. We do so right now. With a postponement, there was only one game scheduled for tonight because the Utica Comets and the Cleveland Monsters game was postponed due to COVID. I think it was the Omicron, but why do we keep calling it COVID? Anyway. Chicago Wolves beat the Manitoba Moose 4-3, and in the words of Porky Pig, that's all, folks. That's all, folks. Okay, we go from one extreme to another little extreme. And let us see if we do happen to have. We had 4 games tonight in the Ontario Hockey League. We shall give them to you right now. In overtime, Niagara defeated North Bay 7-6. Peterborough defeated Ottawa 4-1. Sudbury and Barrie, they were postponed. And in overtime, Windsor defeated the Sioux 4-3. And we got time. We're going to do it right now before we enter any further hockey coverage. And there's a reason for that. You want to know the reason? We got to make mention of Nickelodeon. That's right. Our neighbor here at the lovely city of YouTube. So if we can, let us find out what's up with yeah, let's see if we can. There we are. Okay, let's let's get over here. And let's. Who said that? Okay, let us see. Fun. Okay, I do believe Nick has taken the night off after once again another full stream, about 7 hours, 30 minutes, and 10 seconds of a humongous uh, stream as the Kim Potter trial continues. Day 12, the defense case begins. So day 13 comes up, and you'll see all of the trial in the eyes of Nick Ncaa and his guests tomorrow. I don't know what time it is. It'll start probably around 8:30, if so. Tune in to Ncaa Law channel here on YouTube and get the real story, real opinions from real lawyers, including our friend and YouTube neighbor, the humble Minnesota attorney, Mr. Nick Ncaa. Law Splaining the interwebs, usually on Monday through Friday, midnight Eastern, 11 Central, right here on YouTube. And with that said, let us form a semicircle and see where else we can go for some minor league hockey action. Action. Yes, we must see some action, please. Boy, do we need some action. Boys, girls, cats, kittens, frogs, and hogs. Yeah, let's see the CHL. And well, if we needed to find that out, we should have asked. Man, this has been a strange night. It's continuing to get even more stranger. Stranger in the night. Yes. Okay, should we do some scores here? We got a lot of things to do. So there's a way we can. There we are. It's nice to know, isn't it? Yes. Is there a way to get some? Of course. Of course there is. Ah, there it is. We zapped out. There we go. Okay, let's take it to the scores for tonight's action in the ECHL. Come on, boys. I know it's a flow, but let's make it count. Okay. We are waiting sort of a bizarre man. Anyway, how you doing? All right, let's no games tonight, but there's going to be a lot of games on Friday. So there's that theory. What else we got? Let's check out the CHL, which is the Central Hockey League. See, we're slowly but surely getting things, right up there. Do we have? And obviously we do not. Thank you very little for that information. Nothing in the dramatis personas eliguanis. No wonder that league went out. Okay, so that league has went out. I just love it. Hey, life is amazing. Life is a cabaret. Do you want to try the IHL? Yes, no, maybe. See if there's something in the International Hockey League. Hopefully there is. That way we can talk about it. Okay, thank you very little on that one. Gee, folks, we're batting 1,000. Let's see what we got here. We got the AAHL. Oh, let's try the Southern Professional Hockey League. see if they will help us out here. Southern Professional Hockey League. This should have some relevance here. If not, we're just sitting here with our hoo-haws out. Yay, finally! Here we go. Fayetteville Marksmen over the Macon Mayhem 5-2. Huntsville Havoc over the Pensacola Ice Flyers, also 5-2. And that's it. My gosh. We review, and we have one more stop in our little rendezvous of voos, or are we done? Yeah, we're done. Okay. Hockey's over. For tonight, we will talk more about hockey tomorrow at this ridiculous time. Okay. We got NFL Thursday Night Football, the final Thursday Night Football on Fox before it becomes a property of Amazon and Amazon Prime. No word if Amazon will share with Twitch, though I have a feeling they will. Twitch becoming a partner in the National Football League broadcast on Thursdays. And they also have one, I think they got a playoff game coming up. We can tell you that, yes, friends, Nickelodeon, Iron Eagle, and friends are going to be doing another CBS and Nickelodeon simulcast of a wild card game. That's right, folks. The slime cannons are back. Okay, plus some other things that are new, and maybe somebody will slime Ian Eagle. Won't that be fun? Anyway, shall we keep going on this little doody-doo? Yes, we shall, because we got plenty of time. We're on until 12:35. So you want to do the big game here? Why not? Then we'll get the old headlines and have a little fun. And it was a wild night at SoFi Stadium for the final Thursday night football game of Fox. 4 years of it, 4 seasons, 4 years. And let's give it to you. In overtime, yes, I did say that. In overtime, the Chiefs defeated the Chargers on Patrick Mahomes' 34-yard touchdown pass to Travis Kelce, who caught 10 passes for a career-high 191 yards and 2 touchdowns. The Chiefs' 34-28 win marked Kansas City's 7th consecutive win while improving them to 10-4 on the season. 3 critical fourth down conversions during regulation fell to 8 and 6. Now, at the start of the game, Los Angeles endured an unfortunate turn of events following Andre Roberts' 75-yard return of the opening kickoff. After 2 runs by Austin Eckler, who gained 19 yards, Mike Williams was unable to hold on to Justin Herbert's bullet pass in the end zone on 2nd and goal. 2 plays later, tight end Donald Parham was carted off the field after falling hard on his end after trying to catch Herbert's pass in the end zone. Parham was carted off the field and was in stable condition while undergoing tests for a head injury at UCLA's Harbor Medical Center. The Chiefs' offense quickly moved 95 yards in 10 plays to take a 7-0 lead on Michael Burton's 7-yard run. One of the drive's key plays was Mahomes' 14-yard completion to Kelce on a 2nd and 14 play. The Chiefs were driving on their next drive before the Chargers' defense was able to hold them to a field goal. The Chargers' offense then drove 75 yards in 10 plays to score their first points of the night. Herbert, who went 3 for 3 for 40 yards on the drive, ended the drive with a 1-yard touchdown run. After the Chiefs 3 and out, Herbert and the Chargers' offense took advantage of a short field by taking a 14-10 lead. The 42-yard drive ended when Herbert beat the rush and found Jalen Guyton in the end zone for a 4-yard score. Herbert's touchdown was the only pass play of the Chargers' 9-play drive. The half ended the way it started, with the Chiefs coming up short on 4th and goal. On the final play of the half, Herbert's pass was battered down at the line of scrimmage by safety Daniel Torson, keeping the Chargers' lead at 14-10 in the intermission. The Chiefs started the second half with a field goal. Chargers drove downfield before coming up short on yet another fourth down. This time, Herbert failed to connect with Jared Cook as his pass was broken up by linebacker Nick Bolton on 4th and 2 on the Chiefs' 28-yard line. Kansas City then drove to the Chargers' 2-yard line before Mecole Hardman was unable to pull in Mahomes' low pass just short of the end zone on 4th and goal. The Chargers drove, and you guessed it, went for it on 4th down yet again, but this time they picked up the first down on Joshua Kelly's 7-yard run. But the Chargers' celebration was cut short when Trayshawn Wharton freed the ball from Kelly's grasp on Kelly's plunge on 3rd and goal. As the ball was recovered by the Chiefs linebacker Ben Neiman, the Chiefs gave the ball right back to the Chargers. However, when Mahomes' pass was snared out of the air by Uchenna Nwosu, Eckler made it let's put a comma there. Uchenna Nwosu, Eckler made it a 21-13 ball game on the next play on a 2-yard run. And all of that... fueled by 69-yard completion from Mahomes to Kelsey, the Chiefs tied the score. Mahomes' 1-yard pass to Tyreek Hill and Mahomes' completion to Clyde Edwards-Helaire on the 2-point conversion. But the Chargers quickly countered with an 11-play, 75-yard drive that ended with Hilaire's touchdown pass to Keenan Allen. The Chiefs' offense responded yet again with Mahomes, a play after picking up 32 yards with his feet, hit Kelsey for the game-tying score. Neither team could score on the final possession of regulation. The game was sent to overtime, and on the 5th play of overtime, Kelsey caught Mahomes' pass before eluding several Chargers before finding the end zone. Thus endeth the theological lesson for today. Kansas City Chiefs 10-4. They beat the LA Chargers, now 8-6, 34-28, the final score. On the final Thursday night football game on Fox before our friends at Amazon get the entire lot for next season. Wow. Okay, let's kick it around the now we've already talked about COVID-19 catching up to sports again. Let's get you some headlines and make the details come through with it. And the NFL is hearing a lot from quarterback for the Browns, Baker Mayfield, and this time he's once again calling him out. The Cleveland Browns are currently being leveled by COVID-19 as a total of 20 players have tested positive this week, which puts their status for Saturday's matchup against the Las Vegas Raiders to be carried on the NFL Network only. In question, the latest group to land the COVID-19 list includes quarterback Case Keenum, who joins Baker Mayfield after he was sidelined earlier this week due to a positive test. That means third stringer Nick Mullins is currently in line to start for the Browns in Week 15. Now, as this outbreak continues to hit the organization, Mayfield took to social media to relay his discontent with how the National Football League has handled the situation. Mayfield questioned the league's stance on player safety as he said, quote, "Actually caring about player safety would mean delaying the game with this continuing at the rate it is. But to say you won't test vaccinated players if they don't have symptoms, then to pull this randomly doesn't make any sense to me," end quote. At this point, the NFL has shown no indication that they will be rescheduling or canceling Saturday's game. Idiots. Mayfield did not elaborate on what his making only 3 teams test comment specifically meant. He went on to say that the Browns were not tested Thursday morning and were able to gather for practice, but were then tested following the session. That decision to test could be linked to a report from Mike Florio of Pro Football Talk. He reported today that teams are currently in advanced protocols tried to not test asymptomatic vaccinated players. The NFL Players Association then got involved, and the teams and the NFL backed down and conducted the test. Meanwhile, Brown center J.C. Tretter is the current president of the NFLPA. Mayfield's comments also come after the NFL and NFL Players Association released a memo updating its COVID-19 protocols. Under these new protocols, individuals do have an opportunity to return from quarantine quicker so long as they remain asymptomatic, because individuals cannot return as soon as the day after the initial positive test. Head coach Kevin Stefanski would not rule out any player who recently tested positive, which does include Mayfield. Wow. And the bazaar continues. Yes, indeed, the bazaar do continue. Let us continue. We've already discussed the Chargers. Well, on the heels of Michigan State's best player deciding to forego the Peach Bowl for the NFL draft, number 12 Pittsburgh will be without star quarterback and Heisman Trophy finalist Kenny Pickett for its Peach Bowl game against number 10 Michigan State, after he announced on Thursday that he won't play in the game, as he, much like Michigan State running back Kenneth Walker III, will be preparing for the 2022 NFL Draft. Let's see what else we got here. With Pickett out for the Peach Bowl, as well as Kenneth Walker III also out. That means like the Panthers and Michigan State will be turning to other players. For the Panthers, that means redshirt junior Nick Patty will start at quarterback as Pickett's backup this season. He completed 12 of 14 passes for 140 yards. Wow. Boop. And we don't know who will be replacing Kenneth Walker III for Michigan State. That will be a surprise to all of us. But we shall find out in shorted minuet skis. Excuse me. So let's keep going here. More NBA reports. The Lakers, well, another COVID report. The Los Angeles Lakers are signing former All-Star point guard Isaiah Thomas to a 10-day contract, according to Shams Charania of The Athletic. The Lakers can fit Thomas on their team due to a hardship exemption granted to them because of all of their current absent players. Dwight Howard, Taylor Horton Tucker, and Malik Monk were all in the NBA health and safety protocols as of Wednesday's win over the Dallas Mavericks. And according to Adrian Wojnarowski and Dave McMenamin from ESPN, Russell Westbrook will now be joining them. Soon after Westbrook's absence became known, Charania reported that Avery Bradley is now in the protocols. Neither Kendrick Nunn nor Trevor Ariza have played yet this season due to injury. Thomas, who's been in and out of the NBA in recent years, scored 42 points in his recent G League debut with the Grand Rapids Gold. He played 3 games for the New Orleans Pelicans last season, also had a brief stint with the Washington Wizards and Denver Nuggets in recent years. This will not be the first time Thomas will play with LeBron James, as they shared the floor for the Cleveland Cavs during the 2017-2018 season, nor will it be his first time with the Lakers, as he was dealt to Los Angeles in that same season. But Thomas made his name as a professional with the Boston Celtics. He made 2 All-Star games in green and white and scored 28.9 points per game during the 2016-2017 season. He injured his hip in the 2017 playoffs, though, and was promptly dealt to Cleveland in a package for Kyrie Irving. He hasn't been the same since, and isn't clear how much he still has left in the tank physically. He was a poor defender, even at his peak, due in large part to his small stature. He has also struggled on the offensive side of the court since getting injured. Now, with Westbrook set to miss some time, beggars can't be choosers. The Lakers are desperate for healthy bodies right now, considering all the talent they're missing. They worked Thomas out in the offseason and were apparently impressed enough to give him a chance now. With Westbrook, Monk, and Horton Tucker out, there's plenty of room for Thomas to absorb some ball handling responsibilities. He likely won't play a significant role with James running the show, but if he can provide any decent minutes off the bench, mazel tov. 15 minutes past the hour of midnight. Welcome Friday with open arms. Okay, let's all right, that's not going to work. So let's go this way. That'll work. Okay. I know we got I hate to do this because we have it slated for sports leftovers, but I think on the one part on our one commentary about MJF, we'll have to wait that till Friday. Unless I can talk fast. And as we know, if I talk fast, I make mistakes. But here we go. In the Premier League, Chelsea and Everton tied at 1. Liverpool beat Newcastle United 3-1. In the Women's Champions League, Group A, Juventus beat Servette 4-0. Wolfsburg defeated Chelsea 4-0. In Group B, Paris Saint-Germain beat Breidablik 6-0. Real Madrid Femenino defeated Zaitlobud 3-0. In Spanish Copa del Rey, Almorabita lost to Almira 2-1. Valencia over Arenterio 3-1. Mallorca 6, Lanera 0. Real Betis defeated Talavera de la Reina 4-2. Mirandes over Lugo 2-1. Cadiz over Albuquerque 1-0. Atletico Baleares beat Getafe 5-0. Atletico Mancha Real over Granada 1-0. Osasuna over Deportivo La Coruna 2-1. In Italian Coppa Italy action, Lecce over Spezia 2-0. Sampdoria over Torino 2-1. French Coupe de France, Strasbourg over Valenciennes 1-0. Belgium First Division, Royal Antwerp over Eupen 4-2. Genk over Sporting de Charleroi 4-2. Greek Super League, Ofi and Eris tied at 1. Athens and Ionikos. Athens beat Ionikos 1-0. Opa. Okay. Can we, for a few moments, because I do not have my list, and I should have my list, can we do a little backy boo for just a brief moment here so I can see what else we got here. We've done the hoops, we've done the pucks. Okay, we got media. Thank you. And what media have we got? Yes, indeed. We got a lot to talk about. So let's get started, and then we got our last segment. So let's go to it. While the Canadian Football League is returning to its usual 18-game regular season schedule for 2022 rather than the abbreviated 14-game version that started and ended later in this year, it's going to be quite a different CFL schedule than what we've seen in normal years, if anyone, as we like to say, if anyone can actually define the word normal. In particular, the league is further emphasizing divisional play. While cross-division teams will still play each other at least once, the Grey Cup champion Winnipeg Blue Bombers will be the only team to travel to every other city in a 9-team league. That means a lot of the same opponents will be coming to town regularly. The rationale from the CFL from their release. Every game in the final 2 weeks of this year's season will feature a heated divisional contest as teams jockey for positioning ahead of the 2022 Grey Cup playoffs. Throughout the season, there will be an increased emphasis on playing divisional opponents to reduce the burden of travel and to add urgency to key matchups. The defending champs will be the only team to travel to every CFL market as they chase the third consecutive title. End quote. Now, there is some merit to all this, to this idea, focusing on divisional matchups, late in particular. Makes a lot of sense, as that could make a fair difference in the playoff race. And playoff races they're in. Either way, you got it. That also means teams won't have as long of travel in the last few weeks of the season, so they'll probably be fresher for those playoffs. Granted, divisional doesn't mean less travel in every instance. For Winnipeg, for example, divisional opponent BC, which plays in Vancouver, is 1,560 miles away by air, while cross-divisional opponents, Hamilton and Toronto, are 937 and 941 miles away, respectively. And in the West, this will be some shorter flights, but everything other than Edmonton and Calgary is still usually a flight. But this will be particularly lower travel for the East Division of Hamilton, Toronto, Montreal, and Ottawa, as it's possible to travel by bus or train between those cities instead of by air. And CFL teams often opt for those options. So there is at least some point to the travel argument, and that comes with a couple of advantages, possibly. It may keep players more rested and may have some cost savings, especially in the East. However, it should be noted that the CFL didn't have a balanced schedule before this. There were already more divisional matchups than ever. This is dialing it up further and doing so in a way that has some obvious potential downsides. For one thing, the decision to have all non-Winnipeg teams not go to every opposing city is rough for fans of those teams that live in those cities, and there are a significant number of those in many cases. And that has some impact for the home teams, too. That means they can't sell tickets to those fans, and it also may mean their home fans and season ticket holders get bored of seeing the same few teams and players all the time. There may be a chance of getting more traveling visiting fans for closer division matchups, but the incentive to travel is reduced when these teams play each other all the time. This could also have an impact on the TV side. Some of the CFL games that pop more than usual in the ratings are the historical rivalry games, such as the Labor Day Classics and the week later rematches. Unfortunately, those will be there again this year. There's at least a chance the Battle of Alberta, Calgary and Edmonton, this week after Labor Day doesn't feel quite as special when those teams are meeting 4 times this season rather than 3, and that may lead to not just lower attendance but lower ratings if viewers get bored seeing the same teams playing each other more often. Maybe they'll tune out of those games faster or won't tune in at all. So stay tuned as everything tries to get set up. Now, on to the other stuff. Urban Meyer possibly coming back to Fox. Well, there's a possibility. No, and I said Ian Eagle. I meant Noah Eagle. Nate Burleson and Gabrielle Ncaa Green will return to call Nickelodeon's NFL wildcard broadcast, which is an Yahoo. James Hinchcliffe will join NBC's IndyCar coverage as a motorsports analyst. And the COVID-19 has hit the Ohio State Buckeyes basketball team so much that Ohio State and Kentucky, which was set for CBS, has been canceled. Yep. Yep, and yup. That's right. And it's going to probably be similar to last year's broadcast. Thursday, CBS announced broadcasters for the Nickelodeon simulcast of their 2022 NFL wildcard game. And if you watch last year, the names are the same. Noah Eagle, not Ian Eagle. Noah Eagle will be on play-by-play, joined by analyst Nate Burleson, who does CBS Mornings, and Gabrielle Ncaa Green from Nickelodeon. The sidelines have young Dylan replacing Lex Lumpkin. Now, let's see. The NFL we're just reading the press release here. The NFL wildcard game on Nickelodeon will showcase one-of-a-kind kid-focused content and Nick-themed elements throughout, including a special halftime presentation, guest reporters, original on-field graphics, virtual filters, and more for kids and families. Now, last year's game was a welcome diversion from the very serious broadcast you typically see from the NFL and its broadcast partners. The slime-filled, fun broadcast isn't for everyone, but that's cool. The game will also air on CBS in a more traditional format. The Nickelodeon broadcast last year spurred CBS to air some Nickified highlights of Super Bowl 55 in February and helped lead to the creation of NFL Slime Time, a weekly NFL show on Nickelodeon hosted by Burleson. More alternate broadcasts like this one were expected when the NFL linked its newest round of TV deals, and it's no surprise to see Viacom returning to the formula that generates so much positive feedback in January. Will other networks follow suit? Will we see some Monday night football games on Disney? Perish the thought, but you never know. Fox don't have a Fox Kids alternative, do they? No, they don't. So it'll probably be CBS and ABC going to be hepping it up. Speaking of the NFL, and we are, the NFL's attempt to sell stake in NFL media seems likely to continue on past the end of the year, but the wheels do appear to be in motion for a sale. Speaking to the fun folks at the Sports Business Journal, NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell said that discussions with various companies were underway, but a finalized agreement was not imminent. As for the future, it says, quote, while the NFL could bank billions of dollars by simply selling an equity share in the entire NFL media enterprise, conversations with suitors have taken on a range of creative ideas, and evaluating the degree of alignment with the NFL's interests takes time. Goodell said, we're confident we'll get there. My guess is we're months away, not days away. As for the future of NFL Sunday Ticket, Goodell seemed ambivalent about whether or not the package rights will be included in the big sale. When asked if Sunday Ticket rights were necessarily bundled with the NFL media asset sale, Goodell said, no, I would say we retain the rights to engage on any of those pieces. Whenever I would call media assets, they don't have to go together. They might not. Now, earlier this year, reports emerged that the NFL was looking for investors in the league's media operations, which does include the NFL Network. Then a month ago, Amazon was reported as a front runner for the Sunday Ticket rights and a minority stake in the NFL media's operations. Now, if the NFL wanted to bundle a media operations deal together with Sunday Ticket, they might end up limiting their potential investors and their potential investment. And while that would clearly be appealing to a company like Amazon, theoretically in the mix for both, it would also take plenty of other outlets only interested in Sunday Ticket out of the running. Stay tuned. This is getting a little juicy. And that is your media brouvards. Yes, we have done the media brouvards. Huzzah, huzzah. So that means we've only got one brittle segment left. That's right. It's called the international segment. Yes, don't you love the international segments? Some of us do. Thank you. Okay. We're in the right place, but this is not helping us here. Can we? Is there a way we can get rid of the line here? Because, well, okay, we'll just have to leave it at this. Okay, let's go to EuroLeague basketball. Unix Kazan over. Do I have the right date? No, we do not. One more. All right, there we go. Thank you. No, we need one. There we go. Thank you very much. Fenerbahce over Baskonia, 75-53. Barcelona over Panathinaikos, 85-82. Anadolu Efes over Maccabi Tel Aviv, 92-78. Real Madrid over Olimpia Milano, 75-73. And in Espanyol, in Spain, it was Bilbao, 85. Burgos, 83-75. Bilbao over Briogan. So there you go. Huzzah. Can we come on now? Thank you. In hockey, Europe's Channel 1 Cup, Russia over Sweden 1-0. And in a penalty shootout, it was Finland over to the Czech Republic 3-2. And the third period update we can give you, Vancouver Canucks lead the San Jose Sharks 3-1. And guess what? That's it. That be all. Now, we do have a chance, do we, yeah, we do got a chance, so let's chance it. We got 5 minutes extra time here, so we're going to bring you a little wrestling report, and if it's any good, guess what? We will bring you maybe a wrestling podcast besides the Wrestle Anime Hut. Might bring you a wrestling vlog cast and talk wrestling. We will let you know. Okay. Signed with WWE. Tesha Price now using the Fallon Hurt name in WWE NXT. She changed her Twitter name this week, and her handle has been changed to Miss T Price to Fallon Henley WWE. Instagram has also been updated. She worked Tuesday's WWE 205 live taping with Erica Yan to face Valentina Feroz and Yuzula Leon. That match will air during Friday's 205 episode on Peacock and the WWE Network. She's been wrestling since 2018 and worked for numerous promotions, including AEW, Shine, Shimmer, and others. She worked the July 25th NXT TV show in 2018 as enhancement talent Tanilla Price and lost to Lacey Evans. She worked a dark match at the 2018 Mae Young Classic as Tesha Price, but lost to current AEW Women's World Champion Britt Baker. She has worked 21 matches for AEW since November 2020, working Dynamite, Dark, and Elevation. She debuted with a loss to Big Swole on the November 6, 2020 edition of Dark, then made her Dynamite debut with a loss to Abaddon on the December 9th, 2020 show. She has not worked for AEW since losing to Hikaru Shida on the August 9th, 2021 edition of Elevation. So nice to see her back, but I wish it was with a better federation that is a little stable. Okay, let's continue. There has been some word where the WWE is interested in MJF. Now, while this is a nice thing, a nice idea, I really don't think MJF is what the WWE wants, and I'll tell you why. AEW is more where MJF, Maxwell Jacob Friedman, is more suited because AEW, unlike the WWE, is more sports entertainment than wrestling. If MJF goes to the WWE, that'll be the biggest mistake of his life, and he knows it. Why? He's a good wrestler. He's also good on the mic, as we have seen. If he goes to WWE, they wander his talent, and he will not be in the bright lights brigade, as I like to call it. Instead, he'll be a mid-carder. He'll be exactly what he is presently not when he battles CM Punk with the promos they have had in a couple of weeks of their meeting. Only with luck would MJF be in the supercard of the WWE. As we have seen and noted many times, those that think the WWE is going to give them the grace and dignity that they deserve, they wind up in NXT. Also, Max's promos, and let's face it, they're not scripted. They're not scripted by writers. They're scripted by them being the wrestlers. That's what working for AEW means. You get some independent freedom. You get to speak and say what you will, what you want. You're not stymied by, you're not stymied or shackled by creative or censors or networks. See, the difference between the AEW and the WWE is simple. AEW is wrestling, and they allow their wrestlers, and I say the W word, wrestlers, to be creative in their promos, and they come up with some doozies. And Maxwell Jacob Freeman is known not just for being a good wrestler, which he is one of the best. He may have gotten upstaged Wednesday, but he is one of the best, not only in words, but in deeds. He is the master on the microphone. And yes, as we have seen frequently, the wrestlers are, shall we say, very strong, not only on the mic skills, but if you will notice, they only get bleeped for the F word. The WWE would be so afraid in the Attitude Era, maybe. But in the era that we're in now, the only free form is AEW. WWE would be so afraid of insulting and offending not only an audience, but also their advertisers. Remember, folks, the Attitude Era cost them some big time advertisers, Burger King for one. So, do you think the WWE, in the state of things that we have now, would actually, and I say this with sheer honesty, would actually want to risk advertiser boycott? Don't forget, there is a force powerful than Vincent Kennedy McMahon. It's known as cancel culture. If they see one bit of controversy, that person will disappear. The person that caused it will disappear. Just ask Alec Baldwin. So 2024 may be the year of Maxwell Jacob Freeman, just not in the WWE. Not in the way this country is nowadays. Too afraid to totally speak out. And with the crap that's being thrown at us, the woke generation taking much control of things and cancel culture, ask yourself, would MJF's act really work in the WWE? Wrestling, yes. But do you think he can take being controlled? I don't think so. Because he is a wildfire. He is the master of the mic. He's among the best in shoot promos. If I put him next to Kevin Sullivan would spank his ass. But MJF, he's getting nearer and nearer with every shoot promo MJF, Maxwell Jacob Freeman, does. He gets closer and closer to the taskmaster Kevin Sullivan's view and way to do a shoot promo. I have witnessed Kevin Sullivan doing promos when he was wrestling a long time ago in Eddie Farhat's revitalized promotion, the AWWL. And I mean, this man, he builds up and bam, doesn't need a script. He lets the mind think for him, and what comes out is pure, unadulterated shoot promo cream. Maxwell Jacob Freeman is not only good as a wrestler, But when he does those shoot promos like the recent ones he's done on CM Punk, I mean, my God, that's not the young version of Kevin Sullivan. I don't know what is. But Maxwell Jacob Freeman and Kevin Sullivan, those two are pillars of the shoot promo. Right next to the late, great fashion plate, Freddie Blassie. Classy Freddie Blassie. And leave us not forget the legendary, one of a kind, Bobby the Brain Heenan. Everyone else is second best. But I'll tell you one thing. You give me the Mount Rushmore of shoot promos. Kevin Sullivan, Bobby Heenan, the Wizard, CM Punk. Who else? I would say Vince Russo. I would say that, but I've got him in another category. But Maxwell Jacob Freeman should just stay with the AEW, because if he went WWE, and again, this is my opinion, he would literally be wasted. The talent and the skill and the daring and the bravado in this day and age, in the environment we are in now, with wokeism and cancel culture circling around like horny shark wanting din din quickly, the WWE, in my opinion, would destroy the flow, would destroy his creative essence and turn him into a blithering mass of jello. MJF's talents belong to AEW because, yes, he is the future. He is among the future talents of this sport. Notice I say the word sport. Not some bleeping, and I'm sorry to the folks over there in Connecticut. But let's be blunt, let's be honest. They have some good wrestlers too. But mostly nowadays, they're glorified stunt people. Anyway, just my opinion, just my thought. Agree or disagree, we all have that right, but I gotta tell you, MJF's best thing to do, re-sign with AEW, because 2024, I will agree, 2024 will be the year of Maxwell Jacob Freeman. And you can bet your bottom dollar on that. Okay, it's 43. Damn, it's 43 minutes past 12. We have really gone over. Man, I still got a lot to say. I got to save it for a podcast. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for us here on Sports Final. Don't forget, Christmas week, we become Steve's Sporty Balls. Sports Final with a little opinion and a tude of comedy and more. So you might just want to watch. Either way, we're going to entertain you like you've never been entertained before. So please join us on Christmas week. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for us. We're just going to combine it. Sports Final featuring Steve's Sporty Balls. There you go. Or Steve's Sporty Balls featuring Sports Final. That may just be the click there. But we're going to be more than just sports, folks. So please join us. Either way, we know you're going to be entertained by what we got for you. That's going to wrap it up for us. We got one more 11:30 broadcast, and then two more 11:30 broadcasts on Sunday. Hopefully everything goes right over at our secondary studio off of exit number 148, more or less. No, 145. Thank you. Over at exit 145. Got to thank you folks for watching. Steve the Baxman Baxley saying this has been a presentation of Mystifying Creativity Productions in association with the L2C Media Network and L2C Sports. We'll talk to you on tomorrow at 11:35. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night, great morning, and a superb weekend to come.